This is the story of a man named Stanley.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Jacoby, and this is the Stanley Parable. I don't exactly know what this game is all about. I purposely keep myself from spoilers from this kind of, artsy experimental experience type games. Purposely stay as far away from them, or far away from spoilers as I can. And this is no different.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
And I don't know what
Stanley decided to go
I'm
to
doing
the meeting
here.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I'll go to the meeting room. I shall listen to this strange narrator. So yeah, apparently my name is Stanley. And after a normal day of work of pushing buttons, everyone in my office has disappeared. Now this is a game based off of a, I think it's a Half-Life mod?
When Stanley came
Oh
to
no,
a set of
what do I
two
do?
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. I'll enter the door on my left. Oh. That's not gonna open again, is it? So apparently I have to decide, what exactly I follow when it comes
Yet
to
there was
narration.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up
close
to
to.
his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay, fine. We'll go up to the office. They don't like it when doors close behind me.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What if I go downstairs? What happens? What happens then, narrator? This is interesting.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of
that's
facing
interesting.
his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
That's
All
cool.
because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe
All of
I
my
am.
co-workers
Maybe
blinking
I'm
mysteriously
mad.
out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
It's a
And for
goddamn
that
good
matter,
question.
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Uh-oh. Whoops, sorry.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He
Am I
just
going in
hadn't
circles?
found the words for it. I'm
I am.
dreaming, he yelled. This
It's
is
all just a dream, is it?
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were
I'm not going crazy. I'm
he
just,
wasn't going to lose his job.
following
He
the
wasn't
same
crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
same trajectory.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my
Going in
boring
circles.
real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, wow.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
And what's
One
that?
he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
I don't know.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who
This
found
is
it
a very
particularly
interesting
strange.
concept for a game.
I'm dreaming
I like
about
this a lot.
voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this
I think
was
this
not a
game is
dream.
going to make me go
How could
crazy.
it be?
I've been
Was
walking in
Stanley simply
circles for
deceiving
ages,
himself,
and I
believing
just
that
started
if
this
he's
game.
asleep, he doesn't have to take
What is
responsibility
happening?
for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I feel
Now, hearing
awake.
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely.
Stanley's going in.
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a
It's
dream.
like Inception shit. I need a
So he closed his
need a
eyes
dreidel.
gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one.
Feel like I'm sleeping.
Up, he thought to himself.
Actually feels like I'm
dream.
really high. But that's not me being high. That's the game fucking with me.
Let me continue pushing the buttons.
Like all of what, 10 minutes into this game?
It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is
please
my
just
life
leave me
exactly
alone.
the way it's always been.
Well, we're not going to leave you alone.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Wow.
I am okay.
No, I'm still in the same goddamn place.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real.
I've gone completely mad.
Can anyone hear my voice?
Who am I?
And everything went black.
And everything went black. Just when things were going so well.
A woman named Mariella.
Who?
Mariella woke up on a day.
Did I beat the Stanley Parable?
She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Is that Stanley?
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man.
Okay.
He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
I think I'm crazy for playing this fucking game.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was.
I did get it on sale on Steam though, so.
I
believe the mod is free, but this is like the fully fleshed out game. I can't remember what it's a mod for. I want to say Half-Life, but I don't know. Most likely Half-Life.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this.
No time for the dead crazy man in the street. Move along.
And then she turned and ran.
Interesting. So now do I play her? Oh no, that was Stanley. And we're back at the beginning. God damn it. This is the Stanley Parable, folks. This is the Stanley Parable.
What could it mean?
Meant to melt your brain. Alright, so now I know what happens if I go that route. I'm gonna try a different route.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine. I'll follow it this far, and then I'll go upstairs to the boss's office, and we'll see what that has in store.
Yet there was not a single
Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion. Sounds like a lot of jobs. Alright, so I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm not gonna go downstairs into fucking Crazy Town. Nothing but confusion and sadness in there. Executive bathroom. There's gonna be no one in here either.
Stepping into his manager's office,
oh
Stanley
dear.
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
This is a massive
Shocked,
office.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in
It's a
disbelief
lot of space.
who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not
The
have
entire
known
universe
was
is
that the
fucking
keypad
with you,
behind
Stanley.
The boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I do now. 2845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer
seemingly
luck.
random.
Amazing.
Oh,
He
what
stepped
have
into
we
the
here?
newly opened passageway.
Okay. I always press red shiny buttons. Can't help myself.
Descending
Alright.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a
I feel
stirring
very
of emotion
peculiar.
in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Am I
Why did
being
he
unplugged
think
from the
this
Matrix?
now,
Is that
when
what
for
this game is
years
about?
It had never occurred to him. This question would not
Am I
go
the one?
unanswered for long.
Getting a Aperture Science vibe from this place.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Oh,
that read
jeez.
Mind Control Facility.
I don't want to go through here. Escape. I'm gonna escape. Fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. I'm not gonna listen to you, narrator.
The door
You
behind
don't
him
know
was
me.
not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope. Nope.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's right. I ain't afraid of death. Oh, yes, that's definitely my death. Oh, I didn't die. Did I?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley
Oh,
was
I'm not
inched
dead.
closer and closer to his demise, he
Oh,
reflected that
that's
his
gonna
life
kill
would be
me.
of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped
No, I do
forever in
not.
his narrow vision of what this man is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
Yep.
Plucking the
This is a
eyeballs
glitch in the
from
Matrix,
blind
man. This is hurting my
So
brain.
he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh no. Goodbye, cruel world.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley
Now
was led
someone's
helplessly
narrating
into
the
the
narrator?
enormous metal
Oh my
jaws.
god, my
In
head
a
just
single
exploded.
visceral instant, Stanley was
Oh, my
obliterated
brainstem's
as the
melting.
machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a
What
few
the
minutes
hell?
before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk
God
has been created
damn
for
it,
you
this
long in
game.
advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout? This, I don't... I don't understand. I'm very confused. Narration outtakes? Somebody's definitely messing with me. This is not so much a game as it is like a moving experiment. This is like an art project that I can play. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. know where I'm supposed to go. Or who I'm supposed to believe. Or what life even means anymore. The point of Stanley Parable HD Remix is to win. I'm so confused. So what do I do now? Where do I go? What do I do? What am I? What am I? What is my life all about? Well, since I can't, I'm gonna restart it and use what I now know to go about things differently.
All of his co-workers were gone.
We begin the adventure again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps. But perhaps something more foul is afoot. Should I go to the mine? Yeah, I'm gonna go to the mine control facility. I want to at least know what it's all about. Even though it'll probably end in my demise like every other path has.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Don't get fired.
Feeling
Good advice.
Disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he'd
Okay, yeah, to the boss's office.
Upstairs to his boss's office.
Into the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I can't remember.
What could it mean?
I'll just wait till he says.
Aloud to nobody.
This game is quite strange.
Papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Oh, it called me on that one.
Anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
But I don't want... Okay, fine. I actually do feel more relaxed now. Thank you, narrator. Thank you. I know you're watching me.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Cool. Alright, let's go find out what the mine control facility does.